A32 pneumatic tapping arm. We're looking at from 0 to 9/16 capacity. It's pushing about 28 foot-pounds of torque. This is one of our 400 RPM motors. We've got a couple different speeds, but when it comes to torque, we're trying to go with that 400 RPM every time so you can get up to that 9/16 capacity. So what sizes are we gonna run first, Nick?
So today we'll start with, this is just the 1/4 inch through hole. So I like showing this one. So we'll put it in the vise. Need a handle.
While he's fastening that down, just a couple things about the A32. It's our most, what's the right word? Cost-efficient model. This is our starter model, if you will. But really efficient. Anyone who's doing smaller parts, it's great. 34 inches of reach at the maximum. You're getting down to 11 inches from the base at the minimum. And then it's got its counterbalance weight that's right on it. You can loosen this up, slide it back and forth. You can see how the arm raises. Some people like it where it'll lift away from your project so that as soon as you're done, you can just let it go and it'll jump out of your way. But again, you can adjust that counterbalancing to what your specific needs are in that situation, operator's preference, all that.
So same quick change chuck, guys. Again, I'll show you it's fun to see the size difference. So we're going to be doing, this is a 3-flute OSG pointed tap for through holes. So this is just a through block, 1/4 inch. I think this is 1 inch thick. So we're going 4 times diameter, and we're going to plow right through this hole and show you how easy that is.
Is it good?
Again, pop it in, no setup, run straight down. So it's clutching out. I'm going to peck tap it in there, clear those threads. We're going to get it all the way through. There we go. But you saw that clutch working. That's exactly what you want it to do.
Now, before you put that away, so let's say that somebody's got to do some sort of treatment to it, like galvanizing.
Yeah.
And they need to go right back to that same hole.
Yeah.
I know that if you're in the shop and you've got your big machine set up, that's something that gets a little dicey sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you had to chase that hole, what's that look like for you?
So yeah, no, chasing, real common application. Again, so now I'm not worried about breaking it so much, but I want the peace of mind that I'm not going to strip any of my threads out. So I let the arm do the work. I bring it over the hole, I run it on down, and it's going to chase that perfectly. No, so after powder coat, after heat treat, maybe after weld, I want to clear out some splatter. That's a great application. And especially after galvanizing on hard material, sometimes tapping or re-tapping a heat treated hole is just as hard as tapping just as tapping it.
Yep.
So it's again, I want that clutch mechanism there just to help me from snapping those tabs. All right, so that's enough on the through holes. Or 1/4 inch.
Yes.
Let's do blind. A blind hole.
So for blind holes, let me bring this over here.
1/4 inch, a small blind hole. So again, 1 inch thick, steel, blind.
Sorry, Isaac, I can bring that right up here.
Oh, he's got the phone. Oh, it's a little unfocused there. There we go.
So you can see how the end of the tap is squared off to make sure that you get your threads all the way down to the bottom of that blind hole.
Well, something I like to show off too is just how easy it is to get these taps in and out. So that bevel washer, I push it down, you push the balls out of the way, and then it simply slides in and out. And then the tap shank and the square, it seats right in.
Too easy.
So it really is. So here's same deal, the blind hole. It's going to give a little lubrication there. I bring it over my hole and run it on down. Clutch at the bottom, hit reverse. That's a done deal. We'll do another one for good measure.
And as you can see how effortless this is, one of the big things that people come to us for is quite literally that they're breaking taps. It's different operators doing different things. If they're hand tapping, if it's in the machine, but the fear is that you're always, people are trying to get away from breaking taps. That always comes at the end of an application. That's not the first thing that you're doing.
No, unfortunately.
So it's not just the broken tooling, it's also the time that you lose It's all the part that's 90% of the way of being completed to turn over to your customer, and now you lost the part.
And I should make Joe hand tap a hole because he loves it so much.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna chase one now.
Now, all right. Hey, Jacob's chuck. Before we grab the 3/8 here.
Yes.
Cool accessory, any arm. I pop it in. I've got the a chamfer bit in this case, so here I can just do prep. All my prep work. I put a reamer in there, a drill. It's just a great quick change tool. I can put anything in there. I just wouldn't put a tap in there. I've seen guys do it, but
Well, you lose the whole
clutch.
torque clutching.
So we'll come over here and hit a couple holes. You see, again, the positioning, the effortlessness. I mean, it's just, I run it right over to the hole, and now I have perfectly chamfered holes.
Beautiful. And so what are some other tools that you'd throw into the Jacob's chuck that you see most often? Reamers?
Yeah, I'd say the most often is a reaming application. You know, let's say I'm taking 15 to 20 thousandths out just to size the hole.
Yep.
And I don't have one over here, but I would put a dead handle on the arm just to help with some of the downward pressure. And now, you know, it guarantees that the tool's going to be straight.
Yeah.
And you can, you know, I still have to apply the downward pressure, but you know the tool's straight, and I can get a quality hole. So.
And what we should note is that we've got 3 different sizes of Jacob's chucks. You've got 3/8, half-inch, and 5/8 capacity. That's our 3/8 right there.
I'm gonna put it back here since that's what the camera's looking at. Got a little overzealous.
But great little tool to just make every process easier. And again, no programming. You can quite literally just put in whatever tooling you need into the end of the arm and run the part without any fear of breakage or lack of perpendicularity, all that.
Lack of perpendicularity. All right, guys. So, and again, just to show another change out, here's just a through hole. I've got a nice OSG spot, 3 flute tap here. Yep. And we're going to push those threads all the way through. So we should be able to see them come out the back side there. And so I pop it in. I'm going to bring it right over. Let's see. Bring that on down. All the way through.
And you can see those threads just pushing right through the bottom. Nice finish quality on that.
Gorgeous. Hey, so I think over here, the last thing to maybe show off would be the question would be, hey, well, how do I do horizontal tapping on this guy?
Sure.
So and we've got this.
We've got it right underneath, right?
Handy dandy.
So our horizontal adapter, and it's not as fast of a change out as it is with the hydraulic units with that multi-position head, but quite literally we just loosen up the 2 bolts, pull your motor out, and then the top of the horizontal adapter slides right into the tool mount, and then you just put your motor into the bottom portion of it, and then that allows you to get your horizontal tapping with the smaller pneumatic unit.
So it can be done, and it's simple change out, really easy. Again, just give this flex arm that versatility. The one arm can literally do all the tapping that comes up in your shop.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it such a nice little tool.
Yep.
So I think Adam's got us ready to do some horizontal tapping.
Well, so just one other part to touch on while we're over here and we have it in front of us would be, so we've talked about internal threading. We can also use die holders and do some external threading. So if you've got a part, I'll give you a second here to get over to it, Tiff, sorry.
She's trying.
I kind of sprang that on you.
And then we're gonna do we'll do a video, a live stream, a couple weeks, I think, where we're gonna set up and do a bunch of external threading applications, just to show how it's done with the flex arm, and how fast and easy it can make that process too. Yep. Again, for chasing and or threading from scratch. So
perfect.